Welcome to Spartan Up Podcast. I'm here in the barn, one of the barns in Pittsfield. We have Joe Sena, we have Tim Nye, we have Sefra, who goes by one name like Cher. It's fantastic. We've got Dr. Johnny Waite.
Oh, Cher.
And we have Marion, who makes the magic happen behind the camera. Thank you so much for that. We also have Pete Cohen. This guy is pretty incredible. He's from the UK, one of Joe's interviews over there. He wound up in the best way, like a top. This guy has so much positive energy. He's written 15 books.
Yeah, you can't help but be sucked in by this guy. We met each other. It's one of those guys you just become friends with immediately. Not like you, because it took a while.
It takes a while to like him.
But you're gonna love Pete Cohen. We are here for Spartan Up Podcast, or Spartan Up the Podcast, with Peter Cohen in the UK. And we're about to find out. What are we going to find out?
That there's an answer for everything.
Is that your motto?
Well, my mum told me I had an answer for everything,
Right.
but my mum also told me there's an answer to everything, and my dad always said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I'm a psychologist by trade. People come to me for answers, and I think pretty much everyone who's ever come to me, I've pretty much been able to help them find an answer, whether it's an Olympic champion who wants to win a medal, or whether it's someone who has a fear or a phobia, or someone who's overweight. I'm pretty confident that I can help this person find a solution.
Why is it that, and we're just diving right in here, which is fine, but why is it that people get stuck? Right? Because that's what it sounds like. People get stuck, and then they're looking for an answer.
That's such a good question, Joe. I think, one of the main reasons is that people are comfortably uncomfortable. I think we have a world now where people don't have to strive for anything. So our forefathers would have had to strive for...
Fix the wooden wheel.
Yeah,
get
find a
grandma
food,
back,
whatever.
Right,
but now you don't have to do anything. I hear Amazon are now...
Just get an app.
Just get an app. I hear Amazon now bringing out these drones that you could order something and a drone will come around and give it to you. So, the world is pretty messed up, and if we don't start taking some serious action, and I know that's what obviously you're all about, is get people moving, get people striving towards something, because if you don't, I think a part of us just dies. There's a film, it's called Wall-E, and it's about this spaceship, and there's not, humans mess the world up, so they have to leave, and there's one robot left, and then the robot ends up going into this spaceship, and humans have forgotten how to move. And we need to take drastic action, and I know that's what Spartan Up is all about. Inspiring people to do something.
No, I think you're right. I think if you don't have to move, which is what you're saying, right? If you don't have to fight to get through your days, which in a third world country you do have to, in a first world country you dial it on an app. Right?
But this is the thing. The psychological side of it is very strange, because cavemen, if we were cavemen, we wouldn't have gone, hey, let's go for a run. No way. There's no way we would have done that. We would have had to have gone for a run. Right. So there's something in our DNA that goes, well, why go for a run? Right. In fact, I heard something the other day that was absolutely fascinating, and it was, inspiration is for amateurs. Right? And I thought, well, what does that mean? You can't wait to be inspired, which a lot of people do. They just, if I felt inspired, then I'd go for a run. If I felt, I'd write the book. No. You got to start, because the feeling comes from taking action, and that's what people need to do. They just need to start doing something and get into a ritual.
There's an Admiral McCraven in the U.S., was the most senior ranking admiral in the Navy, and he said, you want to change the world? Start by making your bed.
Yeah.
Right?
Just do one thing.
Right. Do one thing, and that leads to another thing, and so people have been coming to you for
years, yeah. For
15 years,
maybe 25 years. I've written 17 books on personal development, human behavior. I'm like you, I'm an obsessive around success. I want to understand. When I met you, I was like, I want to understand this guy. Right. Where's he coming from? Because I'm just curious.
But then you told me I needed to check into an institution, that I was unfixable.
I did, and you did, and now you're cured.
Now I'm cured.
So
25 years, you wrote all these books, and what? Because at the end of the day, for Spartan Up, the podcast, I'm trying to boil down what is it that makes somebody successful. Not successful necessarily monetarily, but successful in life.
Okay, so Joe, when I ask anyone what's the best quality you admire in a human being, most people say something like, love, kindness, honesty, respect. They're all great, but the greatest quality of any human being is what have you got in there to deal with something that's difficult? Because something difficult is going to happen in your life, probably unexpected. And that's when you're going to be able to tap into the essence of who you really are. But why wait to tap into that? We can tap into that every day by challenging ourselves, by, I don't know, just helping people, you know, rather than, I think most people are sick because they're not, and that's a hard word to say, but mentally sick, not happy, or struggling, because they have no what's called Ikigai, which is a Japanese word meaning the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. So in Japan, they don't have a word for retirement. They all have an Ikigai. Why are you getting out of bed? Most people are getting out of bed to do a job they don't want to do. Right. They're not happy. You've got to develop an Ikigai that inspires you to do something with your life.
But what do you tell people? Because most people maybe are in a job they don't like. They're not doing, you know, maybe in a marriage they don't like, maybe in a relationship they don't like. What do you tell people in those cases?
That's a good question.
Because my response, I think, well, the grass is always greener. Just keep doing, right? Keep moving. Just before you know it, another opportunity comes up.
Well, you know what's amazing about when you go through something that's difficult, there's normally something brilliant on the other side. Right. Now, when we met, I told you the story of my wife. My wife was given 18 months to live 5 years ago. Right. And I couldn't find, that was the first time in my life I thought, hey, maybe there isn't an answer for this. But you know what? What did my dad say? It's not what you know, it's who you know. So I phoned up a friend and I asked him. He told me 2 bits of advice that saved my wife's life. He said, find people that are still alive and find out why. What a great, no oncologist said that. Right. And then the other bit of advice was, what is she going to do when she gets better? I said, Rafa, she's been given 18 months to live. And his answer was, so what? Do people defy the odds? I went, yeah. He goes, listen, once upon a time there was a swimming race and you were in it. And there were millions of little yous, little sperm, and you made it. You defied the odds. People defy the odds every single day.
I do that already.
Yeah, well, it's true, right? So I found a treatment in America. The obstacles we had to go through for someone at the FDA to decide whether she would be a test case. And we went there, and you know, she's 5 years cancer-free. And our whole world, touch wood, you know, in Italy they don't touch wood, they touch metal. Did you know that?
We'll touch some metal too. We got metal right here. Yeah.
I don't know why I said that, but anyway, there's, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. And Joe, you know this, that once people, the sad reality is that for most people, they only ever do something when things get really bad. You know, that's when you find out what people have, when they lose their job or someone dies, when people really come together. But why wait? And you know that when people do a Spartan race, when they cross the line, there's often that elation of, I can't believe I just did this. Right. But you can do that every day if you want to. You don't have to.
I did it this morning with burpees in a cold shower.
Yeah,
and terrible.
The first time you did that, I bet it wasn't the best experience of your life.
It's always terrible.
Really? But afterwards...
But afterwards feels great.
Yeah.
Right? And then the rest of your day, when you get bad news, because we all get bad news every day, you're like, at least I'm not in a cold shower and I'm not doing burpees.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's like the book, Don't Eat That Frog, I think, which is about if you were going to eat a frog, when would you eat it? Eat it in the morning. Right. And that's why when you get up in the morning, the first things you do, I mean, the first time I heard about you was through The Miracle Morning, when Hal Elrod, who wrote the book, he found you on a video with you talking about the Miracle Morning, that if we don't work on ourselves and we don't make ourselves physically, mentally stronger, then when the days come, things come at us, they're going to knock us over. So we got to be Spartans. That's why I love the whole Spartan thing. You know, sweat in training so you don't bleed in battle.
No, I was thinking recently, because I have children, as you know, and if you coddled a kid and never really threw them in the water to swim on their own, well, then what happens when the storm comes and you're a sail, right?
You panic.
The kid can't swim because he's always been coddled. So,
well, I told you that story of the rats, right?
No.
This experiment that was done with rats. Okay. So what they did is they wanted to find out how long rats could swim before they start drowning. So they put rats in water, and it was around about 15 minutes. Just the rats went under. So then they take them out. So they took them out, and then they put some of them back in. Guess how long they stayed in the water for? Hours and hours and hours, like something like 60 hours, because they honestly thought they were going to get rescued.
Right.
You know?
Because the first time.
Because the first time. That's what we have to let our children... That's why we have to make mistakes, right?
You gave the rat hope.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all need hope. Everyone needs hope, I think. Otherwise, you just kind of... I think a lot of people have given up, you know, in life, but they don't have to. But it only takes something tragic to happen for most people, for them to wake up and go, okay, let's go, let's do something.
Why don't we do some burpees?
Yeah, I'd love to do some burpees.
And then we'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
I hope you're not sitting still while you listen. If you are, you better get a burpee break in.
Be sure to join us next week. We have Rob Wolf. Rob was known as the paleo guy. He's the guy who brought into the mainstream lexicon. But more importantly, his new book, which he's going to talk about, The Wired to Eat is the name of the book. Really cutting edge stuff, all kinds of diet types, all whole food. It's fantastic.
So join us in the mission to rip everyone off the couch. You can listen on iTunes, you can watch on YouTube, and subscribe on both of those channels and join the Spartan Up team.
And share with everyone you know.
Everyone.
Be part of our mission.
We are back, and burpees suck.
No, I love burpees.
You like them?
I do. I'm a bit crazy. I love exercise. If I see a hill...
No, I love exercise too, but burpees still suck.
Yeah, they do suck.
Right.
But like you say, you feel so much better for having done it afterwards. People, you can get high on your own supply. It's a popular term, but when you move like we just have, you've got dopamine, you've got endorphins, you've got serotonin. We could hug, and then we could also secrete oxytocin, which is another great, powerful hormone. They're coming for me probably to take me away.
So burpee hugs.
Yeah, burpee
might be the most.
You do a burpee, jump up, you hug someone.
Right? Do a hug.
So you get the oxytocin, which is another very, very powerful hormone.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
All right,
we just invented something, the burpee hug.
Burpee hug. So 25 years of doing this, of helping people.
Yeah.
You've written all these books. Let's pick top 3 points for folks out there.
Okay, so I think for me, the number one thing is definitely self-talk. Okay. What we say to ourselves is estimate that human beings have between 12,000 and 60,000 thoughts in one day. And I believe there are like 5 levels of self-talk. The first one is where most people are at. I'm rubbish, I can't do this, my bum's too big, why me, I'm so fat, blah, blah, they won't like me, I'm going to fail. That's where most people live. Right. The second level of self-talk is when people say things like, I have to. I really have to, I should. As we say that a lot in the UK. Oh, I don't know. I could, I might, I'll try. Some people do that their whole life, sure. A lot of people live there. The third level is when people go, that's it, no more. Enough is enough. I can't take this anymore. You treat me so badly.
3 burpees was enough.
3. That's it, I'm gone. That's why a lot of people give up on the death race, right? Because they just can't take anymore. Sure. No more, no longer, that's it. Right. And a lot of people get there when they have a heart attack or where they're in an abusive relationship. They just think that's it, no more, no longer. That's very powerful. The next level is obviously the one that most people know about, which most people try and do, which is, I am great, I'm going to do this, that kind of positive self-talk, which kind of really came out of the States, the whole positive, but they say it did. But
came out of the Spartans.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Spartans are like, we're going to win.
We're going to do it.
Actually,
so arrows coming at us, we'll fight in the shade.
You will fight though. Yeah, no worries. Bring the arrows on. Give it,
Right.
But that's a level that a lot of people don't live, and they find it difficult.
So how do you get there?
It's practice. It is literally practice. A lot of us don't move our body very much. You don't go to the gym and do 5 burpees and say that's it.
But how do you get
I'm
there?
now a Spartan.
How do you get there mentally? How do you get rid of those 3 levels and only operate?
You have to make that decision that's what you're going to do. Decision. The word decision means you cut yourself off from doing that anymore, and you have to plan it. You have to work on it. It's like flexing a muscle. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes practice. And the other thing is, which is so important with this, is you have to block yourself from distraction to work on. It's so easy to get distracted. You have to take ownership of what you're saying to yourself. I am doing this. I am going to win. I am going to be successful. I have what it takes. But most people don't do that.
All right, so tell me about this guy.
So this guy's Second World War. He's a psychiatrist, concentration camps, family get wiped out. He develops a theory before...
Most people give up at that point.
Yeah, most people do.
You're in you have no way out. You're in a concentration camp.
You see everyone dying around you,
right.
But there is a special type of person, maybe everyone has this ability, they just don't use it. They don't tap into the resources that we have. And he comes up with this therapy. But many therapists can give therapy, but when it comes to doing it for yourself, many coaches are the same. But his theory was, in life, things can happen to you, but ultimately you choose how that affects you.
How you're going to react to that obstacle.
So he said, right, the Nazis can do whatever they want to me, but they can't choose how that affects me.
Right.
And I think we all have a choice, but we just forget that because human beings are a bit like sheep. So we all just go along and just do what everyone else is doing. And we were saying before how if we would hang out together and we used to, let's say we drink, we take drugs, and one day I just think, I've had enough of this.
Right.
I can't take this anymore. And if I go, Joe, I'm not doing this anymore, and I decide to, upskill my life and be better, you're going to go, what are you doing that for? What's wrong with our life?
Right.
What's wrong with the life that we have?
It makes me feel good keeping people doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you got to hang out with the right people.
Yeah, because entrepreneurs, I didn't realize this, the word entrepreneur, actually, I think it's the French word, it comes from risk taker. And in life, if you don't take risks, then you'll just stay where you are. And anything that anyone wants to achieve, you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Right.
And when we step out of our comfort zones, our brains often go, well, hang on, what are you doing? That's not...
But it's the only way to grow.
I think it's the only way to grow.
It's factual, it's scientific. There's you can't grow. You can't grow without lifting weights, without exposing some kind of stimulus to the body that's different than the thing we do every day.
Yeah,
right?
I mean...
And the mind.
The neuroscience, the whole neuroplasticity of the brain.
That's right.
The fact that the brain has this capacity to grow, but it also has the great capacity to carry on doing what it's been doing. And that's
homeostasis. The body wants to get to a place where nothing is disruptive, but as soon as we disrupt, things change. And so you need to get out of that comfort zone.
That's the whole thing about habits.
Right.
People don't understand this. It's like, why do we have habits? We have habits so we can learn something and forget it. Man learned to make fire to survive, and so that eventually they can make fire without thinking about it.
You don't have to learn it over and over and over.
No,
right.
So whenever you try and do something new, the brain just is often more opposed to it and think, I don't know what this is, so I'm going to reject it.
But it's not just the brain, it's the people around you too.
Yeah.
Right.
People, as a generalization, don't like, everyone that's watching this, why don't they go home tonight, let's do an experiment. If they share a bed with someone, get on that person's side of the bed and close their eyes and see what the partner does. The partner will go, what you doing?
Right.
That's my side. Look, all my stuff's on that side. We can't change, and you won't sleep very well. Right. This is the thing. I'm not one of those people. I don't know. Are you?
I could sleep on the floor. I could sleep anywhere.
But most people can't, right? Because they're talking to themselves. You know what they say the first sign of madness is, by the way?
What?
Hairs on the palm of your hands. That's the first sign. Second sign is looking.
Yeah,
Third sign is having. And the fourth sign is talking to yourself. We all talk to ourselves. So we're all a bit crazy, right? We're all a bit mad. But that doesn't mean we have to settle for what we have, We can be more than we have.
It would have been funny if I had hair on my hands.
I was looking, because you are a bit mad. I know a lot of people that know you think that you're a little crazy, but I just think you're...
So choose the right friends, get out of your comfort zone, be positive.
Be positive. Definitely.
Don't get affected by the obstacles.
And anything that's life has thrown at you, if it's not good, just think to yourself,
it's meant to be.
What's meant to be, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And
I had a terrible situation with our fourth baby, where we had to go to the hospital, and the priest was in the room giving the baby the last rites. So it looked like the baby wasn't going to make it. And right away my mind went to, well, and maybe this will sound terrible to some people, but, well, maybe it's the way it's supposed to happen. I got 3 healthy babies. Now, it turned out fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't...
You could imagine thousands of years ago, that's probably
that
what people would have thought.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, this is just obviously the way it is. But, life isn't the way it's supposed to be. It's the way that it is. What separates the weak from the strong is the strong will go, okay, well, let's learn from this. Let's move on. Let's keep going.
It's not the obstacle. It's how you react to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's like the Chinese say, a path with no obstacles doesn't go anywhere. So you're going to have obstacles. Most people, when they face an obstacle, will just turn around, not going, okay, I'm going to take this obstacle on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it just reminds me of something I wanted to share with you. I remember sending you a text message once, and I said, how you doing? You said, I've just done a Spartan beast in a wheelchair. and I don't know where I was.
You were in Australia or something, right?
I was in Australia, and I was thinking, I said, he's just, what? And then I sent you a message back saying, why? And I never forget your answer. I've still got it on my phone, and I still look at it from time to time.
What did I say?
You said, I'm not going to say exactly what you said because there was an F word in it, but basically you said you wanted to learn humility. Right. You wanted to learn what is it like, walk a mile in someone else's shoes, and you will learn something.
Let me tell you, it was one of the hardest things I ever did.
Well, there's footage of it on YouTube.
It was hard. They duct taped me into the thing, and first of all, you get extremely cold because you're not moving.
Yeah.
right? You're in the wheelchair, and then you can't really get up to take I mean, it was hard.
How long did it take you to do?
Oh, we were out there, had to be 7-8 hours or something. I don't know.
And you had to go over the obstacle?
Yeah, they helped me. They helped me up and over. Almost drowned a few times, but yeah, it's tough.
Still here.
Yeah, you're the man. Thank
Awesome.
you. Yeah, see ya.
Amazing guy, to drop everything in his life and come back to help his then girlfriend, right? Amazing. I mean, not everybody. You should do that, but not everybody would do it.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be a word.
he's one of those guys that's really neat. You can tell he has so much energy that I talk about sometimes surplus and deficit. Most people wake up in the morning, they feel like they have a deficit of energy. It's like, how am I going to get through the day? I need more for me. This guy who wakes up and he has more than enough energy for himself. That's why he writes the books to put it out there, why he can help people. He just really gets that he has more than enough, and he's actually there for other people.
And if you're talking about nature, they call it lack and larder, right? Lack is like a less than, a larder is when, like acorns, for example, oaks have an amasting year. It used to be a survival staple crop, and that's just when they're just shedding lots of nutrients, lots of good quercophiles, actually, are people that eat oaks, like the deer. Hey, Colonel, are you a quercophile? It has nothing to do with Pete Cohen. He is an oak. I asked him if he ever wants to put his arms down because he's so strong. Okay, back to Pete
But
Cohen.
the other thing is the whole holistic approach to helping is then girlfriend, right? And bucking the trend and not going for the regular treatments, and it worked.
See, I think that's more, I don't know, more important, more impressive maybe than helping others. I get all of that, but that's on a one-to-one. There's plenty of people who get up and run charities and do that and help people they don't even know, right?
Sure.
So he's helped somebody but he knew. So that's impressive, but it's how he went about doing it. I think it's kind of the difference there.
Yeah, and he was relentless. He was relentless. Makes his way all the way to Texas, finds that doctor. I did a little bit with my mom on that stuff. It didn't work out, but and it's easy just to look the other way and say, throw up your arms and say, well, it's not going to work. But he stuck it out.
Well, I'll tell you, like, if you look at the modern day medical, regimen, they have almost no background in nutrition. There's almost no place for it. So when they do cancer treatments and they give people radiation, they say, like, oh, just drink a lot of water tonight. And it's like, I don't know, maybe take a bath with baking soda and sea salt, and why don't you eat a ton of seaweed, not from Asia, no offense, blessings, and have lots of iodine.
Now that you're Asian, she's worried you'll be offended, Joe.
Ashwagandha or burdock. I mean, there's all these amazing, like, people are so afraid of natural supplements, but willing to put nuclear medicine into their bodies.
Where do you find burdock?
Pretty much along every roadside, everywhere. It's one of the most prolific. They say that herbs and things grow where people need them, the medicine that you need. Burdock is one of the most familiar roadside. It has those little birds that you can make into a football and throw, and it stays on people's clothing. Okay. You know those things? Yeah. So those roots are actually amazing. And there's so many plant allies out there. And just because your medical profession, and I'm not a doctor, so please don't take my medical
Johnny
advice.
is.
But Johnny, you're the doctor.
I'm going to defer to Efra on the burdock stuff, because this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's just like, I have friends who go through it, and it's like, well, come on, folks, like let's see what friends we have, and just nutrition and your gut flora and those types of things are the most important things we can nourish. So maybe I should write a book
Sefra's
on
like
that.
a female Pete Cohen.
Oh,
Yeah, she has got some extra energy this morning. It's fantastic.
Woo! That's because it's so beautiful here. I wish you guys could see the mist on the mountains. Every day I wake up in Narnia. I wake up really energized.
Hey,
Caroline, what about you?
Yeah.
So if you'd like to be energized like this, join us every week. We'll see you soon.
Hey, Spartans. This is Marion, the producer, stepping out from behind the camera for a second. I'm doing it because I want to talk to you about this week's charity partner. This week's Spartan Up is partnering with American Dream U. American Dream U is a nonprofit dedicated to helping our military get the education and access to resources they need to find their dream job or to start a business of their own. And in fact, we interviewed the founder of American Dream U, Phil Randazzo, so make sure you subscribe wherever you listen so you can catch his episode. But more importantly, find out more about American Dream U. Go to americandreamu.org. That's the letter U, americandreamu.org. Find out about what they're doing and how you can help.
Thank you for watching another epic story of success. If you like our message, please share Spartan Up with your friends and subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you catch our show, maybe in the woods. Spartan Up is brought to you by Spartan Race. To find a race near you, visit Spartan.com.
So,
Hey, you feel it?
actually, I felt that.
Yeah, come on.
So why don't we mix burpees and hugs?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll do it.
Get some. Yeah, let's do it. So down.
Down.
Right, up.